Bumabati na may ngiti sa aking mga labi. Naghahanap ba kayo ng makakatuwang sa pag-review ng inyong anak? Meron yan sa DepEd. Ang ETUlay online tutorial ay libre at handog ng ating kagawaran sa pangunguna ng OUA ICTS EdTech. Ito ay isang proyektong makatutulong sa mga mag-aaral, katuwang ang mga magulang o kasama sa kani-kanilang tahanan para masagutan at maunawaan ang mga modules. Hangad din ng programang ETUlay ang matulungan ang ating mga guro sa kanilang mga blended learning classes. Ang ating ETUlay ay mula kinder hanggang senior high school. Bukod sa academics, meron din tayong mga special programs gaya ng All is Wellness, Reading and Math Remediation, Storytelling, Mommy Tech Talks, Classes sa Gramatika, Speech Class, Financial Literacy, at marami pang iba. Pinalawig din ng ETUlay ang ating Alive program para sa mga mag-aaral mula grade 1 hanggang grade 3. Gayun din ay mayroon tayong ALS program at SPED tutorials na makasisigurong makakamit ng lahat ang inclusive education. May SPED hotline na rin para sa inyong mga katanungan patungkol sa special education. Kaya, subaybayan mula Lunes hanggang Biyernes, mula 9:00 ng umaga hanggang 7:00 ng gabi ang ating ETUlay. Sa ating pagtutulungan, maiaangat natin ang bawat isa. Ating itutulay ang pagkatuto upang di mapigil ang pag-aaral ng kabataang Pilipino. Itulay natin ito, sulong edukalidad.
Mabuhay! Good day to all! I am your tutor Madge. Welcome to ETUlay, a free online tutorial, an initiative of the Department of Education, Information and Communications Technology Service, Educational Technology Unit, ICTS EdTech. This program is aimed at helping and assisting learners from kindergarten, senior high school, ALS, Alive, and SPED learners. Aside from answering the modules, the ETUlay is offering programs which you will surely look forward to. Together with our parents and teachers, the ETUlay will bridge the gaps where difficulty and ease meet in learning new knowledge and skills. So, let us prepare our modules, pen and paper. Ready your mind to see and hear worthwhile and interesting lessons. Let us now study and learn, together with our volunteer online tutors. Tara na!
Okay, sige po. Ayan, so good afternoon po sa ating lahat. At alam kong holiday ngayong Friday, February 25, 2022. It's a day for today. Pero kahit na walang pasok ngayon, ay tuloy-tuloy pa rin ang ating ETUlay or DepEd ETUlay online tutorial for grade 6 mathematics. So again, this is your tutor, your math babe, Tutor Andre. And of course, syempre nasa likod ko rin si Tutor Prince. Hello po ulit, Tutor Prince. Ayan, siya ang aking magiging director muna for today, no? So ayan. So welcome to our DepEd ETUlay online tutorial for grade 6 mathematics. So bago mo tayo magsimula, mabilis ang bati muna tayo. Ayan. Simulan natin kay Angelic Marie Salazar. Good afternoon po, watching from Marilao Central Integrated School, Marilao North District. Ayan. Kay Kevin Martin Baluntap, good afternoon po, watching from Sorsogon East Central School, Sorsogon City, grade 6, SSES Advisor, Ma'am Jessica Ramiscal. Ayan. Kay Enrico Dalupan, good afternoon po, Tutor Prince and Tutor Andre. Ayan. Kay Liana Jean Viagoot, ayan, good afternoon po, Liana Jean Viagoot, grade 6, watching from Malasin Elementary School, SDO City of Ilagan, Isabela. Wow. Okay, of course, itong ating suking soulmate, si Arian May Zacarias. Good afternoon po. Watching from Sorsogon East Central School, grade 6 SPJ. And yan, si Eliza Jane Atrihino. Good afternoon po, grade 6 pupil watching from Malasin East Elementary School, SDO City of Ilagan, Isabela, Region 2. Advisor si Ma'am Joanne and Darby. Yan. And siguro panghuli na lamang to, no? Si Gerald R.V. Dula Cantor. Happy learning, everyone. Ayan, so kanyang advisor si Ma'am Sunny Bicarme Rarama, Principal Sir Rodelio Domingo Ganyo from San Pedro Villa Concepcion Elementary School, Roas East District, SDO Isabela. Wow. Okay, so ayan, so good afternoon ulit sa ating lahat. So muli, sisimulan na natin ating lesson for today for Math 6 Quarter 3, Week number 2. Okay, sige po. Ayan, so again, abangan nyo ulit kami ni Tutor Prince every Friday from 1 o'clock to 1:40 p.m. Via our DepEd Tech Unit, DepEd Tayo, DepEd Philippines, and DepEd TV, Facebook, and YouTube pages. So maraming salamat po sa inyo. Okay, so bago mo natin simulan nating lesson, so hayaan nyo munang i-discuss ko ang ating homework for nung last week, no? So again, ang lesson natin noon ay all about space figures, no? So ayan yung ating homework na sinagutan ng ating mga solvemates last week. So base sa pagkakabilang ko, if I'm not mistaken, we have 23 solvemates. So marami-rami na tayong mga solvemates na nag-solve ng ating homework last week. So check lang natin. Sa isang mabilisan lang. So sa ating given, we have the pentagonal prism. So ang pentagonal prism, so we have 7 faces, of course. Yung dalawang pentagons sa taas and baba. Then yung ating 5 na rectangles. We have 5 lateral faces. So 2 plus 5 is 7. Then we have the number of vertices. We have 10. Of course, yung 10 na yun ay bumubuo dun sa 5 vertices ng pentagon. And since dalawa yung pentagon, so we have 5 times this 10. And of course, for the number of edges, of course, we have 15. So we have 15 because yung dalawang pentagon, then yung side or edge connecting the two pentagons. So we have 15. Okay, similarly, we have the octagonal prism. So ganun lang din. So bases natin ay dalawa. We have 2 octagons plus 8 lateral faces kasi we have there 8 rectangles. So we have 10. And of course, we have the number of vertices ng ating octagonal prism. So we have 8 vertices for the octagon. And since dalawa yung ating octagon, so it follows that we have 16 vertices. And lastly, for the number of edges, so yung 8 sides ng octagon, since dalawa, we have 16. And then, yung mga patayo na nagkakabit sa dalawang bases. So we have another 8. So that is 24. So we have 24 edges. And based on the given prisms, so we have here a pattern. So kung napansin niyo yung ating pattern, ay ito yung kailangan natin sundin or kailangan ninyong malaman para ma-determine niyo yung number of faces, number of vertices, and number of edges ng isang prism. And in general, ito yung ating formula. So for any prism with a base of n sides, so kahit ilang sides pa yung base ng prism, kay pentagon ba yan, hexagon, heptagon, octagon, and so on. So we have the following formula. So for the number of faces, we have n plus 2. Again, n represents the number of sides of the base. Then the number of vertices is determined by 2n or 2 times n. You simply multiply the number of sides by 2. And for the number of edges, we have 3 times n or 3n. Okay. So that's the pattern for the prism. Prism's faces, vertices, and edges. Now, let's go to the next pentagonal pyramid. So we have the pyramid. So as you can see, to determine the number of faces, again, we add the bases and the lateral faces. So we have 6. Bakit 6? Kasi we have the base pentagon. So, and then you have the triangles formed from each side of the pentagon. So we have 5 triangles or 5 lateral faces. So we have now 1 plus 5, and that is 6. And next we have vertices, we have 6 then. Why? Because we have there the 5 vertices of the pentagon. And of course, yung isang additional vertex ay yung mismong nasa tuktok ng pyramid o yung tinatawag natin na apex. So we have 5 plus 1, which is 6. And lastly, for the number of edges, we have 10. So bakit 10 yung number of edges? Kasi we have the sides of the base pentagons. We have 5 sides or 5 edges. And then yung sa bawat vertex, we have a line connecting to the apex or to the top of the pyramid. So we have another 5. So 5 plus 5 is 10. So all in all, we have 10 edges. Okay, now let's proceed to the next pyramid. So we have the hexagonal pyramid. So for the hexagonal pyramid, we have again bases. So we have a hexagonal base, and then we have formed 6 triangles. So that's 1 plus 6, and that is 7. And for the number of vertices, we have also 7 because, of course, yung vertices ng hexagon, that is 6. And the last one, or the one vertex, is the point on top of the pyramid, or ito ulit natin na apex. And lastly, the number of edges is 12. Bakit 12? Kasi we have the sides of the hexagon, 6, and then yung mga from each vertex, we have formed a side connecting to the apex. So that 6 plus 6 equals 12. And as you can see, do you notice a pattern based on the given pyramid? So kung na-determine niyo yung pattern, ito yung ating mga formulas. So in general, for any pyramid with a base of n sides, we have the following. So number of faces is n plus 1. The number of vertices is also n plus 1. And the number of edges is denoted by 2 times n, or simply 2n. Okay, so that is how to determine the number of faces, vertices, and edges of any pyramid with a base of n sides. Okay, so hopefully, nakuha ninyo yung ating homework. Ayan. And again, ito yung ating mga solvemates. I-recognize natin for today. So for the duties of the week, so by the way, may nakaligtaan akong banggitin nung last week. Yung ating quarter to finale, duty of the week ay si Maria Riana Meticia T. Sempron. Ayan, so ating soulmate, congratulations. And of course, yung ating mga duties of the week na nakasagot ng ating homework last week ay gaya nga nasabi ko, we have 23. So for the record, ito na yung pinakamadami so far. Ha? So kung may gusto pang humabol, pwede pa naman humabol. Wala naman problema sa amin. Okay, mas maganda kung marami-rami tayong mga nakikisali. Okay, so sino-sino nga ba yan ang ating mga duties of the week? Sila ay sina. Ayan. So bilisan ko na lang ha. Si Gerald R.V. D. Cantor, si Gracie N. Kionisala, si Arian May B. Zacarias, si Nerwin P. Negal Jr., si Gwyneth Angeline L. Tolentino, si Adrian Ray D. Rivera, si John Vincent A. Gadi, si Ian Gail R. Dilay, Kevin Martin J. Doluntap. So may mga bago mukha tayo ng ating soulmates. Ayan. Si James Joseph E. Bumatay, si Henry Stephen P. Kadapan, si Alia Judiel B. Javier, si Carl Yuan S. Marasigan, si Jeric Johan S. Ramirez, of course, si Maria Riana Meticia T. Sempron, si Princess Lorraine T. Del Rosario, si Enaj Erica J. Galang, si Lorraine Jewel M. Damitan, si Tristan Uriel M. Cruz, and naka-PE uniform ko siya, from Santa Cruz, Elementary School. Si Rihanna A. Abadier, si Alessandro B. Sandoval, Marico Asia G. Vasquez, and lastly, si Ivan Joseph C. Faelnar. Ayan, so congratulations sa ating mga soulmates for quarter 3, week 1. So muli, mamaya-maya ng konti magbibigay ulit ako ng homework and sana ay mas marami pa kaming mga soulmates sa mga susunod na weeks. Okay, so atin ang simulan ng ating lesson. For quarter 3, week 2, again, we have formulating the rule in finding the nth term using different strategies and differentiating expression from equation. Okay. So, hopefully, nakikita po yung lesson natin sa ilalim ng screen. Ayan. Okay. So, again, special thanks to our division office for lending us the module na ginagamit po natin for today. So, we have the development team of the module. So, maraming salamat po sa inyo. Ayan. Of course, of the author, editors, reviewers, and manager. Okay. So, what are the objectives of the lesson? So, after this session, you're expected to formulate the rule in finding the nth term using different strategies. So, either you look for a pattern, guessing and checking, and working backwards. And you may differentiate expression from equations. So, later on, we'll have to discuss that. Okay, so let's have our first lesson. We have formulating rules for sequence. So, what is sequence? So we will be discussing that later on. So how do we formulate rules of a sequence? Sige. So let's start with the recall first. Ayan. So kindly use your chat box to chat or to tell me the answers to this. So what are the first 5 multiples of the following? So 4, 7, and 8. Sige nga. Recall lang tayo. So what are the first 5 multiples of 4, 7, and 8? Sige, mabilis na tayo. Ayan. So may sumagot na si Tristan Uriel Cruz. I think he is referring to 8. So we have 8, 12, the next multiples of, this is for 4 rather. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. So this is for 4, 8, 12, 16, and 20. The first 5. So when you say first 5, we start with the first number 4. Ayan. Then followed by 8, 12, 16, and 20. Okay, next we have, ayan, same answers to here. Ayan. So, ayan. Shout out po. Ayan kay Sir Renz, Christian Pabico. Okay, sukin natin si Sir. Good afternoon po. Sir Renz. Ayan. Ayan po sa ating mga students. Ayan, so number 2, may mga sumagot na din. Nakita ko una ay si Gerald RV Dula. So sa 7, we have 7, 14, 21, 28, and 35. Ayan, very good. So I think we'll go to the last para mabilis na tayo. So 8, can you give me the multiples of 8? Ayan, so nakita ko ay si Marico Asia Vasquez. So she gave 8, ayan, 16, 24, 32, and 40. Ayan. So, very good ang ating mga kids. Ayan. So, these are the first 5 multiples of 4, 7, and 8. Okay, let's proceed to the next. Here, we have, what is the common difference of the following sequence? So, ano nga ba ang common difference ng mga sunod na sequence na yan? So, we have number 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11. And 16, 19, 22, 25. And so very good din yung ibang mga kids. Nakita ko maraming sumagot sa ating chat box. Ayan. So usually ito yung ating mga soulmates, no? So again, pwede rin kayo sumagot sa ating chat box. Okay. So for number 1 ay nakita ko na. Sagot ni na Kevin, Martin, Tristan, Gerald. So pare-pare sa sagot. So for number 1, the common difference is 2. That's correct. Very good. And for number 2, ayan. So nakita ko, nagsagot na din si Gerald, Kevin, and Gwyneth. So we have 3. Okay, very good. Tama ang inyong mga kasagutan. Ang gagaling na ating mga grade 6 ha. Okay, very good. Ang gagaling. Okay, sige. Now, let's look at the following sequences. Ayan. So, for instance, you are given the following sequences. So, we have there 3, 6, 9, 12. We have 2, 5, 8, 11, 1, 4, 9, 16, and so on. The question is, what rules can you formulate to find the nth term of each sequence? So, syempre by inspection, alam natin na yan yung uh, event sequence. No? So, alam niyo na agad yung mga susunod na numbers. Paano kung tinanong kayo, what is the 100th term of that sequence? So syempre, pag tinanong na 100 term, so mahaba-haba pa yun. So, i-enumerate ko pa lahat. So, actually, from that sequence, we will be able to formulate a rule. So, kailangan natin alamin kung anong end term ng ating given sequences. Okay, sige. So, ano muna ang sequence? So, when you say sequence, ayan. So, a sequence is a set of numbers written in order by the application of a definite rule. So, may sinusunod tayo na rule. Ayan. And of course, each number in the sequence is called a term. Ayan. So, yun ibig sabihin ng sequence. So, somehow it's called a pattern, no? Or progression, kumbaga, no? So, however, we'll have the term sequence. Ayan. Wow, ang galing ni Gerald R.V. So, meron siya sinulat dito. Ayan. Okay, sige. Yung sinabi ni Gerald R.V., the end term of an arithmetic sequence. Wow, very advanced si Gerald R.V. Kasi ito ay pinag-aaralan na sa grade 10. No? So actually, advanced na. Okay, sige. Now, let's have here the next one. The following certain patterns can help us formulate rules and continue a given sequence of numbers, figures, or to fill in the missing numbers or symbols. So, maraming mga different sequences. Pwedeng it consists of numbers, or pwedeng figures, or shapes, or symbols, and the like. No? So, depende sa given. Ayan, so let's consider our first example that we had. So, we have the sequence 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay, so we have here a table. So, let's formulate the rule. And once we formulate the rule, we will be determining the nth term rule. And from that nth term rule, we will be getting also the next 3 terms. So, say natin, kids. Okay, so how do we formulate the rule? So, what have we noticed with the given sequence? So, ano kaya ang rule na pwede natin mabuod siya? So, we have 3, 6, 9, and 12. Sige nga. So, based on the given, so look for a pattern. So, from that given sequence, you will look for a pattern. So, notice that every term after the first is obtained by adding 3 to the number preceding it. Diba? Kaya kung mapapasin niyo, yung 3, so simula tayo sa 3, pag nagdagdag tayo ng 3, or we add 3 to 3, so 3 plus 3 is 6. Diba? And similarly, if we do the same rule, we add 3 to 6, so we have 6 plus 3 equals 9. And so on and so forth. So 9 plus 3 is 12, then so we add by 3. Ayan. So that is the rule. You have 0 plus 3 equals 3. That's the first term. 3 plus 3 equals 6. That's the second term. 6 plus 3 equals 9. That's the third term. And 9 plus 3 equals 12. That's the fourth term. Okay. Now, also, notice that we can also multiply the term number by 3. So, when you say term number, yun yung position ng ating given term, no? So, for instance, since 3 is the first term, so the term number is 1. So, we have 3 times 1, which is 3. Again, 3 is the first term. Then, we have the second term. We have 3 times 2 is 6. As you can see, 6 is the second term. So, the term number is 2. Then, followed by 3 times 3 is 9. That is your third term. And we have 3 times 4 equals 12. And that's the fourth term. So from that, what have we noticed? So we have formed the rule. So we have made the rule. So, ano yung rule na pwede natin magawa? So, the rule is we multiply the term number by 3, or in symbols, that is represented by 3n, or 3 times n. So, that is the nth term rule. So, take note, we will use the variable n, or letter n. N represents the term number. Okay. And now, from the given sequence, we will now determining the next 3 terms. So if we get the next 3 terms, so we will get the 5th, 6th, and 7th terms. So if we do that, by applying our nth term rule, 3n, or 3 times n, so that will become 3 times 5. So yan, susulat natin. So 3 times 5 will be 15. So that's your 5th term. Then you have 3 times 6, that's 21, that's your 6th term. And you have 3 times 7, that will be 20, 3 times 6 is 18, I stand corrected. And 3 times 7 is 21. So therefore, we have already the 3 terms, or the next 3 terms of the given sequence. So we have 15, 18, and 21. So the next 3 terms are 15, 18, and 21. So hopefully, nakuha ninyo kung paano ang pag-apply ng n-term rule and to get the next terms. Okay, so let's have the next example. So let's have the sequence 2, 5, 8, and 11. Okay, so again, what have we noticed with the given sequence? 2, 5, 8, and 11. Okay, so when we formulate the rule, so we can do working backwards. So by working backwards, notice that the pattern is formed. Ayan. So we subtract 3 to get the next term on the left. Ayan. So as you can see, so kung mag-work backwards tayo, so instead na magsisimula tayo sa 2, magsisimula tayo sa 11. So we have 11 minus 8 is 3, then 8 minus 5 is also 3, and 5 minus 2 is also 3. And as you can see, you have that. Ayan. So napansin ninyo, nag-working backwards tayo. Okay. And also, aside from working backwards, you can also use the guess and check strategy. Or in other terms, hindi nito tawag natin na trial and error. So we have the guess and check strategy. So how do we do that? So let's have a guess. So ito ay trial lamang, no? So let's have first 3n plus 1. Since meron tayong difference sa 3, so let's have 3n plus 1. So if we try to check 3n plus 1, so if we replace n by 1, so again, 1 there for n represents the term number. We are referring to the first term of the given sequence. So if we replace n by 1, so that will become 3 times 1 plus 1. So applying the order of operations, so 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. So obviously, hindi yan yung ating first term. Kasi dapat ang first term natin ay 2. So therefore, this rule is incorrect as we check the first term. So let's try to guess another rule. So let's have another rule. Let's have 3n minus 2. So if we try 3n minus 2, so again, we replace n by 1. Our term number is 1, referring to the first term. So that is 3 times 1 minus 2. So 3 times 1 is 3. Then subtract by 2, that is 1. So notice that this is lower than the first term. And of course, hindi naman yun yung first term natin. So dapat 2. So let's try to guess another one. Okay, so let's now have 3n minus 1. Okay, so if we try 3n minus 1, so again, replace n by 1 to get the first term. So that is 3 times 1 minus 1. So 3 times 1 is 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. So therefore, tumama na yung ating guess na 3n minus 1. So this rule is exact for the first term. Ngayon, ang kailangan na natin gawin is, ganun din ba ang mangyayari kapag kinuha natin ang second, third, and fourth term? So let's try to check the remaining terms. Okay, so from there, we now have the following. So to get the second term, we replace n by 2. And for the third term, replace n by 3. And to get the fourth term, replace n by 4. So if you do that, that will be 3 times 2 minus 1. So that's 6 minus 1, which is 5. So tama, second term natin ay 5. And if n is 3, so that is 3 times 3 minus 1. So 3 times 3 is 9. Then subtract by 1, that's 8. So tama ulit, yung third term natin. And if we get the fourth term, so fourth term natin will be 3 times 4 minus 1. So 3 times 4 is 12, then minus 1 is 11. So therefore, 11 is the fourth term, which is also correct. So therefore, we can now say that 3n minus 1 is the rule that we are looking for. So this rule is correct. So yun yung ilalagay natin, 3n minus 1. Okay, so from that nth term rule, so we will now be able to determine the next 3 terms. So ano nga ba yung next 3 terms niyan? So we have 2, 5, 8, 11. Of course, we will be following by 14, 17, and 20. So therefore, you have the next 3 terms. Okay. So hopefully, you are getting our lesson on how to formulate rules. Medyo challenging lang ito, pero somehow, kaya natin yung grade 6. Okay, let's have the last example there. Okay, so for here, we have the sequence 4, or 1, 4, 9, 16. Okay, so as you can see, 1, 4, 9, 16, ayan, so it's a different sequence. Why? If you look at the given sequence, ayan, so to find the rule, you may look for patterns, work backwards, and or guess and check strategy. So check natin kung pwede natin apply yan. Mga yan. Okay. So obviously, at first glance, mahirap kasi kung mapapasin ninyo, yung 1 naging 4, then yung 4 naging 9, yung 9 naging 16, no? So they have no common difference, no? Kasi 4 minus 1 is 3, 9 minus 4 is 5. So mahirap hanapan ng pattern at first. Or kung mapapasin ninyo, 1, pwede na dagdagan ng 4, nagdagdagan ng 3, so 1 plus 2 is 4. Then, yung 4, nagdagdagan ng 5, that's 9. Then, yung 9, nagdagdagan ng 7, is 60. So, meron kang plus 3, plus 5, plus 7. And syempre, automatic, alam mo na yung next pattern dyan. So, that will be plus 9, plus 11, plus 13, and so on. Pero, somehow, there is a shortcut way of determining the rule there. So, ano napapasin ninyo? So, you may try this. So you will be multiplying the counting number by itself or squaring counting numbers. So you're already familiar with squaring counting numbers. So that is, we multiply the number by itself. So paano yun? So as you can see, we have 1 times 1 equals 1. That's the first term. Then the second term, so the term number is 2. So you have 2 multiplied by itself. 2 times 2 is 4. Diba? So 2 times 3 is 4. Then also, the third term, so we multiply 3 by itself. So 3 times 3 is 9. And similarly, for the fourth term, 4 times 4 is 16. So therefore, we have already formulated the rule. So that is, we multiply the counting number by itself. Or we just simply square the given counting numbers. So already, that is the first 4 terms of the given sequence. So therefore, from that rule, we can now have the nth term rule, and that is denoted by n squared. Ayan. So n squared. Okay, now let's determine the next 3 terms of the sequence. So as you can see, if we just simply square the next 3 counting numbers, so we have 5, 6, and 7, right? So ayan, so nakita ko tama yung sagot ni na Enaj, Carl, and Lorraine. So the answer is 25, 36, and 49. So tama ang inyong mga sagot. So that is 5 times 5 is 25, 6 times 6 is 36, and 7 times 7 equals 49. So therefore, that's the correct answer. Okay, very good, kids. Ayan, sige. Isang mabilis lang tayo. Sige, exercise. So write the rule to find the nth term of the given sequence. So play the next 3 terms after. Sige, kaya naman siguro to kahit 1 minute. Sige, tingnan natin. So, can you give me the end term rule for each and find the next 3 terms? Yeah. You may answer any of the following if you want to para alam niyo kung ano yung mga magiging sagot natin. Okay, so may mga sumagot na ba? Ayan, so nakita ko si Enaj nagsagot na ng next 3 terms. So we have the first one, 5, 9, 13, 17. So the next 3 terms, tamang sagot ng Enaj, 21, 25, 29. Okay, so very good. So 21, 25, and 29. Ayan, very good. Okay, so the next one, ayan, so ang sinasagutan muna nila ay yung next 3 terms. Sige, kasi nga naman madali, no? Tama naman. So the next 3 terms for the second sequence, 6, 12, 18, 24. So that is 30, 36, and 42. So tama. Very good. Okay, and then we have, of course, the next one. Ayan, sagot naman ni ang din sagot ni A and Gail and the Phil. Tama. So next naman, ayan, so si Enaj ulit. So on third sequence, ang next 3 terms ay negative 15, negative 20, and negative 25. So tama din yung sagot for the third sequence. Now we are going to get or to give me the next 3 terms or the nth rule for each sequence. Sige, ano kaya yung nth rule sa first, second, and third sequence? Okay, so according to Tristan, n minus 5 daw ang I think he is referring to the third sequence, n minus 5. Okay, kung n minus 5 yan, kasi kung mapapasin mo, Tristan, class, if n is 1, so the first term is 5, no? So n is 1. The term number is 1. So kung papalitan ko yung n ng 1, so that will be 1 minus 5. So 1 minus 5 is negative 4. So that is already incorrect, no? Okay, sige. So I think I'll just show you a technique on how to find the n term rule. So this is only applied if the sequence has a common difference. So total may nagbanggit na din ng arithmetic sequence. So i-ano ko na rin. Pero ito ay pakapyaw lamang kasi for your information, pinag-aaralan kasi ito sa grade 10, no? So parang medyo mag-advance tayo ng konti. Okay, so i-apply lang natin ng common difference para malaman ang formula na to if the sequence has common difference. So the technique lamang is you just simply get the nth term. So by having the first term, so yung first term natin, that will be subtracted by n minus 1 times the common difference. Okay. So let's have an example on the first one. So yung 5, 9, 13, 17. Okay, so paano natin hanapin ng nth term yan? So kailangan alamin muna natin kung may common difference. Ang tanong, may common difference ba ang first sequence? 5, 9, 13, 17. Meron o wala? So obviously meron, no? So the common difference is 4. Diba? 4 ang common difference nila. So since 4 ang common difference nila, so it follows that we will apply this formula. So paano yun? So if you apply that, first term, so the first term is 5. So then minus, this is plus, I stand corrected. First term plus n minus 1, so that's n minus 1 times. The common difference is 4, so times 4. So therefore, we apply the distributive property. So we multiply n minus 1 by 4. So that will become 5 plus n times 4 is 4n. Then 4 times 1 here is 4. So we have minus 4. And if we combine 5 and negative 4, so 5 minus 4 is positive 1. So we have 4n plus 1. So tama ang sagot ni Tristan Uriel at ni Adrian at ni Lorraine. So 4n plus 1 is the nth term rule. Okay, very good. Tama ang inyong mga sagot. And nabanggit na rin ni Tristan Uriel. So obviously yung second sequence is easy because they are multiples of 6. So that will be 6n. Ayan. So 6n yung ating next nth term rule for the second sequence. And how about the third one? Sige nga, sino kaya ang makakakuha ng end term rule for the third sequence. So we have 5, 0, -5, and -10. So check lang natin. Meron bang common difference ang sequence na yan? So let's see. So para malaman ang common difference, subtract natin ang second term sa first term. So 0 minus 5, kasi we will work backwards, remember, di ba? Sabi ko kanina. So 0 minus 5 is -5. Then -5 minus 0 is also -5. And -10 minus -5 is also -5. So therefore, our common difference is -5. So if we apply that formula, so that will become, so the first term is 5. So 5 plus n minus 1, then multiplied by -5. Since your common difference is -5. So therefore, we apply the formula. So 5 plus, okay, multiply -5 by n. So -5 times n is -5n. And we multiply -1 by -5. So -1 times -5 is positive 5. So therefore, we now add 5 and 5. So 5 plus 5 is 10. So therefore, we now have -5n plus 10. So we have -5n plus 10. Or you may interchange. We have also 10 minus 5n. Still considered our final answer. So therefore, hopefully, you already know how to get the end term and the next three terms. Of course, again, that formula can be applied only if the common difference or even sequence natin ay may common difference. Okay, sige. So let's now proceed to the next. Okay, kasi ilang minutes na lang. Pala yung mga sagot. Okay, so tama naman. Okay, sige, let's go to lesson 2, differentiating expression from equation. Okay, so how do you differentiate expression from equation? Okay, ayan. So observe the given data in the box. Ayan, so we have box A and box B. So what is the difference between the two? O sige nga, anong napapansin nyo sa box A and box B? So which do you think there is an expression and which is an equation? So alin dyan ang equation at alin dyan yung expression? Sige nga, check nyo nga. Ano kaya ang sagot? Okay, yeah, may nauna na. So sabi ni Enaj and Tristan, ang letter A daw ay expression and letter B is equation. Okay, very good. Ayan. So ano nga pa pinagkaiba ng equation sa expression? Okay, so simulan natin sa expression. So when you say expression, it is a combination of numbers and variables combined by mathematical operations or symbols. So ayan, so you can see mayroon ng combination ng numbers and variables, tapos sinaluan pa siya ng mathematical operations. So ano-ano nga ba yung mga examples niyan? Ayan. So as you can see, we have different examples for expressions. We have there 2n minus 6. Ayan, mapapasin niyo may variable n and numbers there. And also we have 8 plus 7. Ayan, expression din yan. 10 plus 3 times 4. Ayan. 8y minus 5. 20 divided by 5 times 12. And 2b times 9. Okay, next. Ayan, ano naman daw ang equation? So when you say equation, it is a mathematical sentence formed by placing an equal sign between two expressions. So tama ang observation. Ayan, sabi ni Tristan, Uriel, kapag daw equation ay may equal sign. So actually, tamang observation din. Ganun din sabi ni Ivan Joseph and Lorraine Jewel. Kapag equation may equal sign. So obvious na obvious. Kaya nga equation. So from the word equal, no? So may equality of two expressions. So yung dalawang expressions ay parehas. So example, ayan, 2n minus 6 equals 4. 45 plus 5 is 50. 2 plus quantity 2 times 5 equals 12. 3y equals 15, 5 squared equals 25, and 10 plus 7 minus 2 times 3 equals 11. Okay, so madali nyo na pala intindihin eh. Sige, isang mabilis na exercise lang tayo. Ayan, i-chat nyo na lahat ng answer sa 1 to 10. Isang mabilis lang na drill. Ayan. So you identify whether the given is an equation or expression. Sige, 1 to 10, pakitype in yung mga sagot ninyo. Ayan, so check natin. Ano kaya dyan ang mga equation at expression? O pwede nyo nang i-generalize. So kunwari, ilista nyo na lahat ng number, equation number ganito, and expression number. Isahan ng sagot para mabilis lang tayo. Sige. Pwede nyo na lang sabihin na the equation are numbers, ganon. Then expression numbers, ganyan. Para mabilis lang. Ayan. So nakita ko may sumagot na sa number 1. Number 1 daw, expression, correct? EX, okay. Very good. Ang ating mga grade 6 students ay very good at very active. No? Ayan, si Gerald, ayan, si Adrian, ayan, sabi ni Tristan. Ang bilis ni Tristan Okay, sige, check natin. Number 1 daw, expression, correct. Number 2, equation, correct. Number 3, equation, correct. Number 4, expression, correct. Number 5, equation, correct. Number 6, expression, correct. Number 7, equation, correct. Number 8, expression, correct. Number 9, equation is correct. And number 10, equation is correct. Okay, very good. So, Alin, kakuha na lahat ng tamang sagot. So, again, para mabilis matandaan, kapag equation may mga equal sign. Ayan. Kasi nyo naman, binilugan ko na para madali nyo nang makita. Okay, so, before we end, ayan, meron po tayong homework. So, ayan, so para madagdagan ang ating mga soulmates, so muli, magbibigay ako ng homework sa inyo. So, again, please post your homework on your on the DepEd ETUlay FB page. Ayan, using our hashtags. Ayan. So, para clear na din sa amin ni Tutor Prince, pwede nyo rin kami i-tag or i-tag nyo na lang kami kung pwede para mas mabilis na makita agad na sumagot kayo. Ayan. So, and also, please do use the hashtags, hashtag Math6Q3 week 2 and hashtag ETUlay level up. So for letter A, what you're going to do is to find the next 3 terms of the sequence, given sequences, and also what is the end term rule for each. Ayan. Also, show your solutions and answers. And lastly, for letter B, you will translate the following word phrases to numerical expression or equation. So given the word phrases, kailangan nyo siyang i-translate to an expression or equation. So that will be your homework for today. And again, please do use our hashtags Math6Q3 week 2 and ETUlay level up. And kung maaari na din, pakitag na din kami ni Tutor Prince. Ayan. So, pakipost sa DepEd ETUlay FB page. Okay. So, for that, before we end, ayan, so scan me. So, for your comments, suggestions, feedbacks, or ano man, and you may use this QR code. Or kung ayaw gumana ng QR code, you may use the website there shown on your screens. That's tinyurl.com/3Q stakeholders feedback. Ayan. Okay, so that's all for today, and hope you learned something. Thank you very much. So for comments or suggestions, please do email us at edtech@deped.gov.ph. So up next, Tutor Rose Ann and Tutor Jolly for Mathematics 7. Okay, so muli maraming salamat po. This is your tutor for today, Tutor Andre, of course, with Tutor Prince. Thank you very much for listening and hope you learned something. Happy weekend. Bye-bye. See you next week.
Ang husay naman! Natapos mo ang iyong tutorial session kasama ang iyong mahusay na ETUlay tutor. May bago ka bang natutuhan? I-share na yan gamit ang hashtag ETUlay level up. Huwag aalis dahil may susunod pang programa na pwede mo ring panoorin at salihan dahil naghihintay na ang iyong mga tutors. Happy learning dito sa ETUlay!